Look, I need to tell you something slightly embarrassing. I spent the last 3 months reading absolutely everything about charisma. Scientific papers, psychology textbooks, body language guides, neuroscience research. 100 pages of notes later, I discovered something that redefines how we think about human connection. Here's what nobody tells you about charisma. It's not some magical gift you're born with. It's not about genetics or natural talent. And it's definitely not about being the loudest person in the room. It's funny how we'll spend years learning Excel formulas or mastering our coffee order, but think charisma should just happen naturally, like expecting to play piano without ever touching the keys. The research is crystal clear and honestly mind-blowing. Charisma is a learnable skill set with specific measurable components. MIT researchers have proven it. Harvard Business School teaches entire courses on it. Yet, we're still out here thinking some people just mysteriously have it while others don't. You know what's wild? Every single charismatic person you've ever met is using the same invisible playbook. They might not even know they're doing it, but their brains are following patterns that neuroscience can now explain down to the millisecond. This isn't about becoming someone else or putting on a performance. It's about understanding the actual science of human connection. And once you see what I found in these 100 pages, you literally can't unsee it. Chapter 1. The 93% you're missing. All right, prepare to have your mind completely blown. You ready for this? Only 7% of charisma comes from your actual words. 7%. Let that sink in for a second. That means 93% of whether people find you charismatic has absolutely nothing to do with that clever thing you said or that perfect joke you told. It's like spending all your time perfecting your sandwich filling while completely ignoring that your bread is moldy. We're all out here memorizing conversation starters and witty comebacks when we should be working on literally everything else. Here's the breakdown that changed how I see every single interaction. 55% is body language, how you stand, move, gesture, take up space. 38% is your voice, not what you say, but how you say it. Tone, pace, rhythm, emotion, resonance. That leaves just 7% for your actual words. Think about that person everyone describes as incredibly charismatic. Watch them with the sound completely off. They're probably doing something fundamentally different with their body. Now listen without watching. Their voice has a quality that magnetically draws you in. Your brain processes these nonverbal signals 12 times faster than words. Before someone even finishes their sentence, you've already subconsciously decided if you trust them, like them, want to follow them. So we're all walking around as 7% of our potential charismatic selves. Time to unlock the other 93%. Chapter 2. Your body is talking. Your body is having full conversations you don't even know about. Right now, as you're listening to this, your posture is broadcasting a message to everyone around you, and probably to yourself too. Here's where it gets absolutely weird. Harvard researchers discovered that changing your posture for just 2 minutes actually changes your hormones. Stand in a power pose, think Wonder Woman or Superman stance, and your testosterone rises while cortisol drops. You literally become more confident on a chemical level. It's not positive thinking, it's biochemistry. But charismatic body language isn't about dominating space like some alpha gorilla. It's about something psychologists call comfortable expansion. You take up the space you need, no more, no less. Like you belong exactly where you are without apology or arrogance. Watch any truly charismatic person enter a room. They move with what researchers call unhurried intentionality. Not slow like they're moving through molasses, but like they're not apologizing for existing. It's funny how we rush through spaces like we're stealing oxygen from everyone else. Eye contact is where most of us completely fail the charisma test. We either stare like serial killers or dart our eyes around like guilty criminals. The magic formula? 60 to 70% eye contact while speaking, 100% while listening. But here's the trick. Look at one eye, then the other, then the mouth. Creates a natural triangle that feels engaged, not intense. Chapter 3. The voice transformation. Okay, this is going to feel weird at first, but your voice might be sabotaging your charisma without you even knowing it. And I'm not talking about your accent or vocabulary. Scientists studying charismatic speakers found something shocking. People rated as most charismatic speak 23% slower than average. Not boring slow like they're reading a grocery list. Purposeful slow, like their words have actual weight and meaning. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. Most of us talk like we're being charged by the word. Racing through sentences, cramming thoughts together, barely breathing between ideas. We sound like we're trying to finish before someone interrupts us, because usually that's exactly what we're doing. The charismatic voice has what researchers call resonance. It comes from breathing into your belly, not your chest. Put your hand on your stomach right now. If it moves when you breathe, you're accessing your full voice. If only your chest moves, you're operating at 40% vocal capacity. But here's what really blew my mind about vocal charisma. It's not about having a deep voice like James Earl Jones. It's about having a varied voice. Monotone is the absolute charisma killer, regardless of pitch. The ultimate charismatic voice hack? End your sentences going down in pitch, not up. Going up sounds like you're asking permission to exist. Going down sounds like you actually know what you're talking about. Chapter 4, The Listening Superpower. This is going to sound completely backwards, but the most charismatic people barely talk. They've mastered something that feels like a lost art in our world. Deep, transformative listening. Here's what we usually do. Someone's talking, and we're mentally rehearsing our response, checking our phone under the table, or just desperately waiting for our turn. We're physically there, but mentally writing our grocery list. And people can absolutely feel it. Charismatic listeners do something radically different. They listen like detectives searching for buried treasure. Not just to words, but to emotions, values, dreams hiding between the lines. They're fully present in a way that's become revolutionary. You know what's funny? We all complain nobody listens to us while simultaneously being terrible at listening ourselves. It's like everyone's at a party talking to themselves and wondering why they feel lonely. The research on this is mind-blowing. When someone feels truly heard, their brain releases the same chemicals as falling in love. Oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin flooding their system. You literally become biochemically addictive to be around. But here's the technique that elevates your communication instantly. It's called reflective validation. You don't just nod like a bobblehead. You reflect back what you heard, adding the emotion you sensed. So you felt frustrated when that happened. Simple, but it makes people feel seen in their souls. Chapter 5, Vulnerability is Your Weapon. This completely flipped everything I thought I knew about charisma. The most magnetic people aren't perfect. They're perfectly imperfect. And they own it completely. We've got it totally backwards. We think charisma means having no weaknesses, never stumbling, always knowing exactly what to say. Like, we're trying to be human Instagram filters. Meanwhile, people are desperately craving something real in a world full of facades. Researchers call it the vulnerability paradox. Showing strategic vulnerability actually increases your perceived strength. Not dumping your entire trauma history on strangers at Starbucks, but admitting mistakes, sharing appropriate struggles, acknowledging when you don't know something. Think about the most charismatic leaders throughout history. They tell stories about their failures. They laugh at themselves. They admit when they're nervous, and somehow this makes them more powerful, not less. Here's what vulnerability does to your brain chemistry. When someone shares something genuinely vulnerable, your mirror neurons fire like crazy. You literally feel more connected because they trusted you with something real. It's biological bonding. But vulnerability without boundaries is just emotional dumping. It's like seasoning in cooking. A little transforms the entire dish. Too much ruins everything. The key is matching the depth to the relationship level. Perfection is intimidating. Vulnerability is magnetic. Stop trying to be flawless. Start being courageously real. Want to level up your people skills? Join our YouTube membership for early access to scripts, input on future topics, and connection with a community that gets the social struggle. Click join below, and let's master human interaction together. Chapter 6, The Emotional Contagion Effect. Your emotions are literally contagious. And I mean that scientifically. not metaphorically. You're basically a walking emotional virus, infecting everyone around you, whether you realize it or not. Researchers discovered something wild using brain imaging. When you're around someone, your brain starts mimicking their emotional state within 50 milliseconds. That's faster than conscious thought. Before you even realize what's happening, you're catching their mood like an emotional cold. This explains why some people drain your energy just by walking into the room. We've all met them. The emotional vampires who leave you exhausted after 5 minutes. Their negativity literally rewires your brain temporarily. You're not imagining it. But here's where charismatic people have cracked the code. They manage their emotional state, like Olympic athletes manage their bodies. They know their energy affects everyone in their orbit, so they show up intentionally. It's not about fake positivity or pretending everything's perfect. That actually backfires because people sense the disconnect. It's about genuine emotional regulation, feeling your feelings but choosing which ones you amplify in public. You know what's funny? We worry so much about what to say, but people remember how we made them feel. Maya Angelou was absolutely right, and neuroscience proves it. The most charismatic emotional state, what researchers call calm enthusiasm. Excited about life, but not manic. Peaceful, but not boring. Like you've got a secret that makes everything more interesting. Chapter 7. Stories that stick. Here's something that'll completely mess with your head. Our brains literally can't tell the difference between a well-told story and real experience. When you hear a vivid story, your brain acts like it's actually happening to you. This is why charismatic people are almost always incredible storytellers. They don't just share information like they're reading a Wikipedia page. They create experiences in your mind that you remember forever. But most of us tell stories like we're reading ingredient lists. This happened, then this happened. Then this other thing happened. No emotion, no sensory details, no transformation, just facts nobody will remember 5 minutes later. Charismatic stories follow what they call the transformation triangle. Character faces unexpected challenge. Character struggles and grows through conflict. Character emerges fundamentally changed. Every compelling story is really about becoming. The stories that stick always have specific sensory details. Not, it was a nice day, but the sun felt like warm honey on my skin. Your brain processes sensory language in the exact same regions as real sensations. Here's the storytelling secret that makes stories land differently. Make your listener the hero. Even when telling your story, frame it so they see themselves in it. You know that feeling when instantly creates neural connection. We're wired for stories. It's how we make sense of chaos. Master storytelling, and you master human connection itself. Chapter 8. The Influence Framework. Let's address the elephant in the room. Is charisma just manipulation with better marketing? This question kept me up at night while researching. Here's the distinction that matters more than anything. Manipulation is getting people to do what benefits you at their expense. Influence is helping people do what benefits them. Charisma without ethics is just exploitation wearing a nice suit. But ethical influence follows predictable patterns. Robert Cialdini spent decades documenting them. Not to trick people, but to understand how good ideas spread and bad ones die. The most powerful influence principle: alignment with existing values. Charismatic people don't convince you to change your fundamental values. They show how their ideas support what you already believe matters. You know what's funny about persuasion? The harder you push, the more people resist. It's like trying to push a door that clearly says, pull. Charismatic influence feels like an invitation to a party, not an invasion of your space. Here's what blew my mind. The most influential people ask for small commitments first. Not change your entire life. Just try this for one day. Small yes leads to bigger yes. It's psychology, not sorcery. The question isn't, how can I be more influential? It's how can I use influence to genuinely make things better? That shift reshapes your entire approach. Chapter 9. The Integration Secret. Here's where most people fail spectacularly with charisma. They learn all these techniques and turn into robotic charisma machines, like they're performing a script instead of actually being human. The secret is something neuroscientists call unconscious competence. You practice until it becomes as natural as breathing, like how you don't think about walking anymore. Your charisma needs to flow without mental gymnastics. But integration doesn't mean using every technique all the time. That's exhausting for everyone involved. It's like cooking. You don't dump every spice into every dish. You choose what serves the moment. People worry charisma training will make them fake. Meanwhile, they're already performing social roles, just badly. We all perform in social situations. Charisma training just helps you perform as your best authentic self. The integration happens in layers. First, you notice what you're already doing. Then you adjust one element at a time. Your posture today, your voice tomorrow. Slow, sustainable changes that actually stick. Here's what nobody tells you about mastering charisma. You'll mess up constantly at first. Overdo the eye contact. Forget to breathe while speaking. Tell stories that ramble nowhere. It's all part of the process. The goal isn't to become a different person. It's to become the person you always were, just with better tools. Chapter 10. The Daily Practice. All right, let's get ruthlessly practical. All this knowledge means absolutely nothing if you don't use it. So here's your 30-second daily charisma workout that could work. Morning mirror work. Sounds weird, but it's pure neuroscience. 2 minutes of power posing while brushing your teeth. Your brain doesn't know you're in Batman pajamas. It just feels the confidence chemicals flowing. The coffee shop laboratory. Order your drink using one new vocal technique. Slower pace Monday, deliberate pauses Tuesday, warm tone Wednesday. Nobody knows you're practicing. They just think you're unusually friendly. The name game builds instant connection. Actually remember and use one person's name today, not 5 people. 1. Say it when you meet them. During conversation, when you leave. Watch their face literally light up. You know what's brilliant about micro practices? They compound faster than you think. 1% better daily equals 3,700% better in a year. That's not motivation. That's math. The listening challenge. In one conversation today, ask 3 genuine questions before sharing anything about yourself. Not interrogation. Genuine curiosity. Watch how differently people respond. Here's my favorite daily practice, the energy check-in. Before any interaction, ask yourself, what energy am I bringing? Takes 5 seconds. Small actions, daily repetition, exponential results. That's how charisma becomes your default setting. So, here we are. 100 pages of research condensed into one transformative truth. Charisma isn't about becoming someone else. It's about removing what blocks who you already are. Think about where you started this video. Maybe believing charisma was for other people. The naturally gifted, the extroverts, the born leaders. Now you know that's the biggest lie we tell ourselves. Every element we've covered, body language, voice, listening, vulnerability, energy, stories, influence, they're all just tools. You don't need to master them all immediately. Start with what resonates. Build from there. You know what excites me most? You're not starting from zero. You already have charismatic moments, times when you naturally light up, connect deeply, inspire others. This journey is about having more of those moments on purpose. The path forward is simpler than you think. Pick one element that grabbed you. Practice it for a week. Not perfectly, just consistently. Watch what shifts in your interactions. Here's what I wish someone had told me. Charisma isn't a destination. It's a practice. Some days you'll nail it. Others you'll forget everything. Both are part of becoming. Your charisma journey starts with one decision. Not to be perfect, just to begin. The world needs what you have to offer. Time to let it shine. Learn something new? Hit that like button, share it with others, tap subscribe, and stick around for more. Got thoughts? I'd love to hear them in the comments.